Well, the name of the business is La Belle Fleur Floral Boutique. We specialize in everything to do with flowers.
I really wanted something different. This is a really nice neighborhood in Surrey, and I wanted to have it accessible for wheelchairs and for baby carriages. I'm a visual artist by trade, history, however you want to call it. So anything to do with design and color and texture, anything like that. Floral design is just another extension of it. It could be painting, sketching, but floral design is just another art. Customer relations are everything. Customer contact. Flowers really have so much emotion drawn just naturally by them, whether it's joy or sadness. We're there for our customers no matter what occasion it may be. We have handmade jewelry, handmade cards, photographers who come in with their work as well. So we like to support the local artisan community within our shop. So we have trained designers. All of our designers are trained one-on-one, and they've come a long way. Education is a key component for us. We like to share what we know for the next generation of florists because we want to make sure that this keeps on going.
With this being our last Thunderbirds home game of the year, the Thunderbirds would like to recognize all the parents, volunteers, coaches, and everything that went into making this a huge success. So thank you for everything that you did.
You ready?
No, I need about 2 more minutes here, so I just can't do this while I'm looking at it, so I'd rather be late.
I wish they had numbers on it.
I can tell you the first.
Welcome to beautiful Collins Field. This is the Game 4 matchup between Carroll College from Montana and your UBC Thunderbirds. We have a commentator that's joining us today, and we will be ready to roll in about 2 minutes. Amber Brewer will lead things off for the Carroll College Fighting Saints.
They only put the initials here. First names of Brewer.
It's a little bit windy here today, so my center field camera might move a little bit.
Curry.
First pitch is high.
Is it Thomas? No. She did H. Okay, Slater is Katie. Thomas is Kenna. MN.
And that's Shelby Kemple in the circle for the Thunderbirds, with Olivia Molesky behind the plate.
That's there.
Popped up, fouled off. So the count is now 1-1.
Thank you.
That's going to drop in for a base hit. So Amber Brewer is on board. That brings up Jessica Nemo. It might be playable, but no, it's playable by a fan in the stands, but no out there. Nice catch, though. The count on Nemo is 0-1. Pitch comes in high. They get the out at 2.
Second one flew up.
So Lisa Liebert at the plate. And the count is 1-1. Change up in for a strike. Pitch comes in high. So the count now is even at 2-2. Flipped over to 2. And they just get the 1.
Up to bat, number 9, Caitlin Ayers.
So there is now 2 away. Caitlin Ayers at the plate. And that's off the wall. Runner is moving to third. They're going to hold up at third. So we got runners on the corners. Great job by UBC getting that ball back into the infield and saved a run for sure. So with the Fighting Saints challenging, that brings Haley Curry to the plate. With 2 away. Fired in for a strike. Pitch is high. That brings the count to 2-1. Sorry, wait. My scoreboard is off. Let me just correct that. The count is actually 1-1. Just getting a little ahead of myself. Now it's 2-1. Swing and a miss. That evens the count at 2-2 with 2 away. 2 runners on. Called third strike with the changeup. Carroll College strands 2 runners here in the top of the first. And it will be our senior, Mia Volk, leading things off for the Thunderbirds. And welcome to Tom Volk. He'll be guest commentating here today.
Great to be here with Thomas the Octopus. He puts up the 4 cameras in Collings Field at Nobel Park. This will be UBC's final home game of the year. If you missed the top of the first by chance, the Thunderbirds got out of a jam with runners on first and third on the corners, and senior Shelby Kemple struck out Haley Curry on a low changeup. So anyone who's a senior, I'm going to say it all game long because this is going to be their last game here at Collings Field at Nobel Park. This is senior Mia Volk leading off the bottom of the first. Volk is a first pitch fastball hitter, and that ball is driven to the right field corner. They had her played well. They know that she likes to hit it over there, but luckily she sliced it hard enough to the foul pole and begins the game with a double. And speaking of seniors, here's Double H, Hannah Hansen at the plate. Hansen had a couple of big RBIs yesterday. She's going to bunt right now. These teams played a triple, that's correct, triple header yesterday, anticipating worse weather today, and they wanted to get at least 3, and so they did that. UBC won all 3 games. Second game was close. The first and third were more dominant. Hansen takes for the bunt. Volk is on second base. Now, Volk is speedy and is in scoring position, but Coach Jen is thinking along the lines of, let's just get a run across the plate. We'll sacrifice a good hitter's at bat because she believes that Volk will score more easily from third. Volk is not opposed to stealing any base, but she has returned from a 5-week absence due to a meniscus injury in her right knee, and perhaps Coach Jen just doesn't want Volk sliding if she doesn't have to, as the playoffs are just around the corner. Count now is 3-0. You'll see her taking here. That's a strike. Three-one count. Hansen can count on a nice juicy fastball. Maybe Coach Jen is going to let her rip, or maybe she's going to stick with the bunt. High, ball 4.
Norquist had quite a year so far.
Amazing. She is a product of Pitt Meadows Secondary School, and in summertime she plays for the White Rock Renegades. Nordquist, the 3-hitter, is certainly not going to bunt. She is number 1 on the T-Birds and number 6 in the Cascade Conference in batting. She comes in today batting .431, 50 hits in 116 at-bats. And not just singles all over the place. She's hit the ball over the wall. Once, that was actually I know that wasn't yesterday, but it was yesterday. Yes, she's hit 7 home runs. I read that 7 into a 1, so I thought she'd hit more than that. 7 homers, 6 triples. Let me go down to Norquist here. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong stats page. I want to get this straight since I started it. She has 3 home runs, 34 RBIs. Now, I'm sorry about that. What a way to start here. I want to give her her due here. Okay. Nordquist is 6th in hitting in the conference with 3 home runs, 13 doubles, 50 hits, and 116 at-bats, which gives her a .431 batting average. And certainly she's going to swing away in this at-bat. Outside on the corner for a strike.
Full count.
Count, runners in first and second. I would probably have the runners in action. Norquist does not strike out very much, so you might see Volk take off to third base. Grounder to third base, and it's off the glove, so everyone's going to be safe. That'll probably go into the scorebook as an error, but it was a very difficult play. The third baseman for Carroll had to be thinking, who's over there at third? That's Haley Kamka. She had to be thinking on the play, okay, am I going to throw it to first? Am I going to step on third base myself? Throw it to third, and that probably took up enough of her mind that the high hop that the ball took on its third hop off the ground went in and out of her glove. So she preserved it. The bases are loaded, but the official scorer will probably have to give that an error to the third baseman. The base hit in my mind. It was a really tough play with a lot going on. So in the top of one here, UBC Thunderbirds, the host team here at Collings Field at Noble Park. Bottom of the first inning, and Shea Sever is having a pretty darn good season herself. The left-handed hitter is 23rd in the league with a .366 batting average, 41 hits and 112 at-bats. 15 of those are doubles, and she leads the team in RBIs, I think, with 38. Yes, she leads the Thunderbirds with 38 RBIs. She certainly has the opportunity to tack on a few more of those, hit the 40 mark here, even with a base hit. Strong body, crouched hitter, always ready to hit. Nice place of that pitch by Abby Amen. Went high. Seaver doesn't mind him high, and especially in this case, that'll get her at least a sacrifice fly. But she threw it on the it wasn't a strike, I'll put it that way, so it was a tough pitch to hit, but a smart pitch. Goes right back to the same place, and that's called a ball, making the count 2-2. And that's what you do when you have an 0-2 count. You have the advantage, you can play with the hitter a little bit, try and get her to chase. But now it's 2-2, so it's turning into a hitter's count now. The left-hander winds and delivers. There's a shallow fly ball. I think it's going to drop. No, the second baseman caught it. Volk tagged at third. We're going to have a play at the plate. She got under between the legs, but she was tagged. What a play. Beautiful one-hop throw to home by the second baseman, who had to be going out towards center field. Volk tagged immediately when he was hit. So when it went into her glove, as she was still running towards center field, Volk took her off her home. Normally a worthwhile risk. It takes a perfect throw, and that was exactly what she got. Off her back foot, the second baseman for Carroll, that was Kenna Thomas, fired it off her back hook, a perfect one-hopper into the glove of their catcher, Alyssa Libert. Volk dove and got her left hand between the legs of the catcher, and boy was it close, whether the tag hit her back or if her fingers got that plate. I think it was the right call, but a very tough call. Olivia Molescu is up to bat now. Good rip. With a count like that, and a swing like that, and a pitch where it was, you would never throw the same pitch. That was a fastball. If they're wise, they'll go to something soft and slow here. No, they went back to the fastball. If you're a pitcher and a catcher battery, when a hitter swings and misses and the ball goes off the top of the bat, but it lines right by the umpire's head into the screen, that means she's got you timed. Good idea to change up your speeds. Low, making the count 2-1. Olivia Molescu is a left-handed hitter and left-handed catcher, a rare thing in baseball and softball. There's a shot, dove by the shortstop, but it got by her. We're going to score at least one here. Boy, what an effort made by Katie Slater, but it just escaped her glove. And Molescu singles home the first run of the game. Hannah Hansen crosses the plate to put UBC ahead 1-0. On the play, Kiona Norquist, who was on first base, got herself to third, and that allowed Molescu to advance to second when they paid more attention to her. So Gabby Dorval is now up with a couple of ducks on the pond, as they say, runners on second and third, lefty against lefty.
We saw a lot of two-out rallies yesterday as well.
That's for sure. There was two huge innings. It was the most interesting second game when UBC went into the fourth inning with a 3-0 lead. Carroll hadn't scored a run at that point because they were shut out the first game and hadn't scored in the second game. What do they do in the fourth inning of the second game? They played 6 runs on a super rally. A lot of those with 2 outs. And then UBC comes back in the bottom of 4 and played 7 to go ahead 9-7 and then went up winning 10-8. Very unusual game. Gabby Dorval does what Gabby Dorval does. She frequently lines the ball to left field. She loves to wait a little bit longer and look at that pitch. It helps her swing at better pitches, and the defense doesn't usually, I'll say, respect that fact. Like the left fielder is over towards the line, but the center fielder, as you can see, is on the right field side of second base. It isn't that she doesn't pull the ball like on a soft changeup like that. Of course, she's going to pull it, but the odds are she's going to whack it somewhere between center and the left field line. So right now she's only got one defender in that territory, and Gorval will likely go that way. And there it is, fly ball down the left field line. Left fielder was camped out right over there. Easy catch. Or did she drop it? And if she did, is it fair or foul? She dropped the ball. I had the ball, the umpire, the catcher, and the third baseman all in line, so I couldn't see the exact play there. But the left fielder obviously didn't quite get to it. I think it's going to go down as an error. And that means the T-Birds score 2 more runs. Kyoto Nordquist scores, and Liv Milescu took off because there were 2 outs, so whether she caught it or not, they were going hard, both of them. So that puts UBC in front 3-0 on what I consider to be the error by left fielder Haley Curry. Tough play. She had to run a long way for that. But the ball, of course,
the scorekeeper called that a hit.
They give it a hit? Okay, good for her. I'm glad they did, because that was a very tough play. She had to run and get over there while the ball was slicing towards the line. And I think that's the fair call on that. Senior Shelby Kemple is at the plate. She is hitting for herself today on this fourth game of a 4-game series. Kemple, I believe, got the win from the mound on the 3rd game yesterday. She threw had a really fine outing. Abby Amend gives Shelby Kemple exactly what Shelby Kemple loves to give hitters. Shelby really relies on her changeup. More than, I'd say 50% of her pitches are the changeup. Fascinating approach. There's a fastball, but that's fouled off to the right-hand side. The Thunderbirds have taken a 3-run lead, all with 2 outs, making it 3-0 here in the bottom of the 1st inning. You're dialed into Collings Field at Nobel Park here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, the westernmost province of Canada's 10 provinces. We also have 3 territories in the north. Ground ball up the middle. This is going to be a very tough play. I don't think she got it in time. No, the umpire called her out. There's a controversial one. I think Kemple got there. Could you see that clearer than me? Or
I'm just watching the replay right now, and it's an inch.
Okay.
Off. So that's
fair enough.
An out.
We have the advantage of the
by
replay.
About an inch.
And Thomas Bell says she was so safe out by an inch. So we'll forgive the umpire if he was wrong. Boy, when the shortstop missed it, I thought it's a hit and another run for us. But then the second baseman for Carroll, that's Kenna Thomas. Like, she was on the grass in center field and did kind of a Derek Jeter play, hopped up for him, and more of a Espinal play for the Blue Jays, and beat her out by an inch. What a play. I like to give stars to great plays, and that was absolutely a great play. Okay, so summarizing that half of an inning, UBC scored 3 runs on 3 hits and takes a 3-0 lead. Kemple, who was the victim of that final ground out, goes to the mound, puts on her mask, and the right hitter takes her final warm-up pitch. The hitters for Carroll this inning will be their number 6 hitter, Haley Kemka. Number 12 will lead off, followed by Katie Slater and Kenna Thomas. Senior Shelby Kemple takes the mound for the last time this season and the last time in her career at home for UBC, as she's graduating this year. Today is Seniors Day, so they're honoring them. So if you hear me say senior a lot, I'm just going to give these girls their due, and the 4 seniors on UBC are going to be named that all game long, if I can remember to do it. Haley Kampka rips a shot down the third base line. That's Gabby Dorverel over there at third base, happy that it went foul, so she didn't have to throw her body in front of that one and have a bruise for 2 weeks. And she would do that. She's a gamer. She had a sister that played for UBC last year, but she went south to school this year. Wishing that she's had a good year, but we don't. I don't have any stats on that. Ground ball up the middle, and oh, Kim goes a great grab and a great throw. Actually, that was Kiana Norquist at second base. How about that? She made the exact same play that Carroll ended that last inning with. She went up the middle, caught it, of course, across her body. She throws right, so her gloves on her left hand, planted herself on the grass in shallow center field, and still threw out the runner.
Made it
What
by
a
about
play.
3 inches that time.
Oh, that was 3 inches, says Thomas Bell. That's an easy call if it's 3 inches. Not to me, it isn't. Wow, how about that? That was a super play. And give that a star as well. Katie Slater's at the plate. Change up, lined right into Shelby Kemple's glove. How about that? That Katie Slater is a fascinating player. She's got a crouch of a stance the way Pete Rose used to bat, and she's just, her feet are always toe tapping, and she's probably, at a wedding, she probably dances to every song. She's a very energized player. I like her approach to the game. Ball high to the number 8 hitter, excuse me, 8 or 10 today, but they're batting 8-9 today. This is Kenna Thomas. On deck as the leadoff hitter, Amber Brewer. Pop up to the right field side. I think it's going to get over the fence. It does. Bounces over towards the arboretum over there, full of trees and plants with all the different names on them. And on back of the arboretum is 6 different apartment buildings, all 6 floors. So all those people get a free seat every time the T-Birds play here. They have balconies facing the field. It's a fascinating little charming ballpark here. Corner of a busy part of Westbrook. Westbrook's a suburb of Vancouver, BC. Mother Nature gave us all those beautiful trees for a hitter's eye in the background. There's stands built into the ground here on the first base side, and there's a very busy Westbrook Mall Road on the first base side. Ball outside. Shelby Kemple has retired the first 2 hitters here in the top of the second. Kenna Thomas, the right-handed batter, is up to the plate trying to nip away at the lead that BC took in the first when they plated 3 runs. And there's a walk.
Is this Abby Hanley?
No, we're back to the top of the batting order.
Number 13.
Oh, 13.
I actually don't have a number 13 on my list.
Yeah, I think 13 is Abby Amend. I know even on their official lineup, 13 and 16 are mixed up.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Abby, I don't have a graphic for you to put up on the screen.
So is this Abby Amend at the plate? Okay. And then, so are they batting 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, they're batting 9. So Amend is hitting for herself. So this is Abby Amend, number 13 she's wearing. Called strike 3 on Amend. Thank you very much. So 4 batters for the Fighting Saints get to face Shelby Kemple. Kamka grounded out on a super play by Kiana Norquist, UBC's second baseman. And then Shelby Kempel helped herself by snagging a line drive that Katie Slater-Surley would have hit into center field, but it was caught by Kempel on the mound. Then she walked Kenna Thomas and struck out Abby Amend. So the Fighting Saints don't score in the inning with no runs and no hits and one left on base. We head into the top of 2 now. While we're doing that, I'm going to catch you up on some interesting statistics submitted by the league today on both teams, actually. And then we'll go to the hitters. I saw a bunch of hitters in this game, and these teams are in the middle of the pack fighting for playoff spots, but yet they have some individuals who are at the top of the league in hitting. Here it is right here. Overall statistics as of last night, so these are right up to date. Kiana Norquist for the T-Birds is the 6th best hitter in the league with .431. Mia Volk is number 10 at .416. Now, look at Carroll College. 3 hitters, number 14, 15, and 18 in the batting standings in the entire league of 11 teams. That's Caitlin Ayers batting .400, Jessica Nima at .393, and Alyssa Libbert at .380. They're all going to bat pretty well next inning. And then down to number 23, I don't mean down, that's on the first page. Shea Sever for UBC holds that spot. So 6 of the top 23 batters in the league are playing in this game today. How about that? Way to go, girls. There's a hard shot up the middle. Oh, what a play just to even get to that ball. Boy, she's putting on a show today. Kenna Thomas at second base. She just got it with the end of her glove. I don't think even if she'd snagged it, she would have been able to stand up and throw out Arsh Bajwa, who hit that hard single up the middle. So that's certainly a single to lead off for Arsh. Just improving every single game, it seems. She's very impressive. Caitlin Bradley C is up to bat now. 8th hitter in the lineup, playing center field today. Caitlin Eng is on deck. Coach Jen McKellar going with a bunt again. She knows that this team is capable of putting up a crooked number. They certainly did it yesterday in the second game when they scored 6 runs in the 4th inning alone. So with that thought in mind, she's going to bunt the number 8 hitter. She's trying to anyway to get Arsh Bajwa to second base. Oh, she puts a nice backspin on that. Excellent sack bunt. And does the job getting Arsh Bajwa to second base. She bunted it with like that pool cue spin, and it hit the dirt and it was spinning backwards, and it just kind of dug itself a hole about 4 feet in front of the plate. And the catcher for the Fighting Saints, that's Alyssa Libbert, jumped out there like a frog on that thing and fired to first base to beat out Caitlin, who's known as CBC. Caitlin Bradley C. Brings up Caitlin Eng, right-handed hitter, hits in the bottom of the order for the T-Birds. Caitlin Eng is from Richmond, BC. She went to London Secondary School. She studies arts here at UBC. Her career goal is to be an elementary school teacher. And how about this favorite quote? Hard work beats talent. That's pretty deep. And we're going deep into the count here as we have a 3-0 count. As good a hitter as she is, I would think Jen McKellar will put the take on here just to try to get another runner on base with 1 out. On the outside corner, and she does draw that walk. So Mia Volk, what did Caitlin Eng do? I lost someone in the order there, but we'll catch it up here for you. Sorry about that. That was Volk that received the free pass. Do you remember what Caitlin Eng did at the plate? So Hannah Hansen, who walked her first time up and scored the first run of the game for the T-Birds. is at the plate. Harsh Bajwa and Mia Volk are occupying the bases. And that will move them over to second and third. That's going to be a wild pitch. Runners now on second and third. Count is 2-1 on Hannah Hansen. Senior Hannah Hansen, that is. It's a cool, windy day here, but it's playable. It's a little warmer than yesterday. Maybe I'll go Fahrenheit for the Americas. Maybe 50, 55 degrees. Swing and a miss by senior Hannah Hansen. Big strikeout there with 1 out. And it brings up Kiona Norquist. Norquist hit a fly ball that hooked down the left field line. It was dropped by the left fielder, Haley Curry, and the scorer ruled it an error, I believe. So she pulls it again. She likes to hit it anywhere in the park, and she's got power. With first base open, not that Shea Sever is a treat to pitch to either, but with first base open, she doesn't have to be perfect in Norquist. She could walk her, not intentionally, but as a byproduct of not giving her anything too juicy. Ground ball to third. This should end the inning. And there we go. Haley Kamka fires over to Caitlin Ayers for the third out and strands 2 runners for BC. So BC does not score in the inning. They had 1 hit and left 2 runners on. At the end of 2, University of British Columbia Thunderbirds have 3, and the visiting Carroll College Fighting Saints are at 0 going into the top of the 3rd inning. I'm going to fire back to those league statistics for a minute. They're quite fascinating. So we talked about 6 hitters in this game, 3 for each team, being in the top 23 of the league. And I guess when you say Kiona Norquist is 6th, I always wonder when I hear people on TV say that, but they don't tell us who's ahead. Quickly, Madeline Powell from CI is the leading hitter in the league with a .478 batting average. Kayla Williams and Riley Donovan for Southern Oregon University are the 2nd and 3rd. Zoe Allen from OIT, and also from OIT, Maggie Buchholz. And then Kiona Norquist from UBC is the number 6 hitter. As I mentioned, Mia Volk is the 10th hitter in the league. Caitlin Ayers is number 14. She's on Carroll College. Jessica Nemo is the 15th hitter. And back to UBC, Shea Sever is the 23rd hitter. Got some pitching stats, and I'll get those maybe between the next inning. Shelby Kemple returns to the mound for the UBC Thunderbirds. We're back at the top of the order. For Carroll College, this is Amber Brewer. She flied out to center field her first time up. Hard shot down the left field line. You're watching Game 4 of a 4-game weekend series here. Carroll College, about a 12-hour drive south of here. The team flew this time, good for them. And they played a tripleheader yesterday, afraid of the weather today, but it looks like we're going to get in the 4th game quite easily. Oh, a line shot down the left field line. Hits the netting on the other side of the foul line. She is meaning business. Amber Brewer, anything on the inside half, she's turning on that ball. UBC is ahead 3-0. It's the top of the 3rd inning, and we're at the top of the order for the Fighting Saints. Amber Brewer is the right-handed hitter at the plate. She flew out her first time up. Glad that you've joined us, and I hope you stick with us. You're going to have a 4-camera affair here, set up by Thomas the Octopus.
It's actually a 6-camera.
6 cameras today. Well, it's Seniors Day. I guess he went all out. How about that? You got 6 cameras here at a University of BC game. Most of the schools we go to in the Cascade Conference have 1 camera just sitting there behind home plate, which will, believe me, I'm a person 4,000 kilometers away, and I appreciate streams when our team is on the road. But this one is a high-class production. Maybe not a high-class commentator, but Thomas Bell certainly sets it up, and you get every angle possible. Nemo, a hard single to right field. Nemo with a .393 batting average coming into today. 44 hits and 112 at-bats. What a season. Hit a couple of hard shots yesterday, I'll tell you that much.
Who's the batter?
This is now Alyssa Libbert, number 24. And Libbert is also up there in the stats, 18th in the league. 380 batting average, 41 for 108. Ooh. That was an interesting. Is she just trying to get the infield to move in for her? Give her a little bit of a batting average here. You don't often see your 3-batter squaring for a bunt, especially when you're down 3-1, but that must be in her arsenal. And she certainly surprised Gabby Dorval. But her thought, given that she's batting as high as she is maybe draw the infield in a little bit and gives her more space to rip a base hit. That's exactly what she was doing. Now she's up swinging hard. Takes that pitch for a ball. My name is Tommy V. I'm here with Thomas the Octopus. He does all the wires and plugs and cables and hard stuff, and I just get to sit and watch. Good block by catcher Olivia Molescu. She can do it all. She's got a strong left arm for behind the plate. You don't see many left-handed catchers. And her swing, geez, I really find her swing coming into tune here at the perfect time of the season. She does not get cheated when she takes the batter's box. High ball, that's a walk. Puts runners on first and second now with a cleanup hitter, Caitlin Ayers, the 3rd name on that top list of hitters in the league. Caitlin Ayers batting exactly 400 coming in today. If you do the math, she has 75 at-bats and 30 hits. So if I break that down mathematically, 30 divided by 6 is 5, 75 divided by 5 is, yes, let's see, come on, Tom, get your head on. 75 at-bats and 30 hits. So that fraction, 30 over 75, comes down to 6 over 15. And then 6 over 15 is the same as 2 out of 5, and that is exactly 400. Well, the computer got it right, and it took me a little bit more time, but I agree for what that's worth. So she upped her batting average already today. She had a fielder's choice her first at bat. Oh, no, so sorry. Ayers singled her first at bat. Hard single off the wall in right field, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so she's up above 400. If you're a stats taker. Here we go. Right-handed power hitter. Plays first base. Big crouch for a player at this level. But you know, your stance, as a guy that works in this sport, softball and baseball, the stance really doesn't matter. It's where are you at when it is time to load. Every hitter loads, and then what happens when she's ready to launch? Look at her. She comes up a bit and gets that perfect bat in the planes. Another one to the right field fence. But this time it's over the fence, and the game is tied. A 3-run homer by Caitlin Ayers, showing off her power today. The first time she hit bat, she hit the middle of the fence in the air, and this time she hit it over the wall, and 2 runners are on base, and we have an even score. Beautiful swing. She was in that crouch stance, and as I mentioned, she kind of rises to a more conventional place in her load, and so therefore her launch is as good as it is. That's why she's in the top of the league in batting. So 3 RBIs for her. One out here in the bottom of the third. And the deck is reset, 3-3 score. That was a glamorous home run too. It really hung up in the air for a long time. And shortstop Mia Volk catches the line drive of Haley Curry for the second out of the inning. Good to see Kempo come back with a strike, trusting her defense. Brings up Haley Kamka. Kampa hit a hard ground ball up the middle on the right field side of second base, and Giona Norquist, our second baseman, UBC, dove to her right as she was going into center field, plucked the ball up backhanded, and still was able to throw off her knees or back foot to get the hard-running Haley Kampa at first base. Change up the middle. Volk dives this time, tips it over towards Norquist, hoping that maybe it'll be a 6-4-3 one out, not a double play. But the ball just happened to ricochet off the top of the webbing of Volk. I think the score will give that a single. And this brings up the left-handed hitter, troublesome, pesty, Katie Slater. Their dugout of the Fighting Saints is always very cheering. When I heard them in the first game yesterday, I thought, well, maybe for UBC's sake, they're not only going to be tired in the third game from playing in the cold, but they're going to be tired from all that energy and yelling and hooting and hollering, but they didn't tire 1 inch. What a spirit on that team. Ball outside. I've got to say, and I am not a guy to speak fashion statements, because if you saw me dress, well, you wouldn't be impressed, I'll put it that way. The uniforms yesterday were black and a dark purple, and they just didn't do much for me. These uniforms here with the purple pants, they've got a purple sleeve on their left, like a left shoulder going from their neck over down to the bottom of the sleeve, and they go with a white jersey and a purple number. Looks like it's surrounded by gold. These are really impressive uniforms. So yesterday's I would have given a 2 out of 10. These ones I give a 9 out of a 10. I really like the look. White belt on the purple pants. Not all of them. Some of them got a purple belt. Change up, and she waited for it so much that the slow pitch, what you would think she would pull, she hit it foul down the third base line. UBC's uniforms, as you can see, are kind of a midnight blue, gold and white trim on it. These happen to be my favorite uniforms of their set, whatever that means, whatever that's worth. Katie Slater takes a tailing fastball, bringing the count to full. So you'll see Haley Kamka, the runner first, she will steal on this pitch. There's nothing to lose in that case. If she strikes out, the inning's over. If she puts the ball in play, even if it's caught, there was no reason she shouldn't be running. So Kamka, there she goes. And it's ball 4 again. Couple of walks in this inning for Shelby Kemple. The only thing wrong with a walk is that the home run that Caitlin Ayers hit would have been a 2-run homer if the runner had earned her way on. And it looks like UBC is going to change pitchers. Out comes Shea Sever. Yeah, Kemple threw a lot of pitches that inning. Senior Shelby Kemple, who will probably stay in the lineup and hit. But this is a historic moment. When she crosses that line, and there she just did it. She will not go the other way in that line to pitch for UBC again. That is the end of her career. A brilliant career. I wish her had her 5-year numbers. She has logged a lot of innings. This school has gotten a ton of pitching out of Shelby Kemple over the past 5 years. Of course, the U Sports Conference that UBC plays in most of their sports in Canada allows athletes to play 5 years. In the NAIA, you're only allowed to play athletics 4 years. The thought with Shelby coming 5 years, same with Mia Volk, who came from Ontario, they just cut their course load. So instead of taking 10 courses a year for 5 years to get the 40 you need to graduate, they come in here intending to go 5 years, so therefore taking 8 courses over 5 years to get their 40. And that way lightening their load slightly in the academic side while trying to balance softball. However, as we all know, a pandemic hit the world, so Kemple would have probably another year of eligibility if I looked at her record, and so does Volk, but they're both graduating and moving on. Time to turn the page. Along with Hannah Hansen, and the fourth senior being honored today is Olivia Milescu. I would assume all of them have at least one more year of eligibility, but I don't believe any of them are pursuing. Well, Volk is going into a master's, but that's going to end this summer. I don't think the other three are having intentions to go on to postgraduate degrees. Okay, with the pitching changes over, Shea Sever has thrown her warm-ups. She takes the mound with runners on first and second here in the top of the third inning. A 3-run home run just a few minutes ago by Caitlin Ayers has tied up the score. So Sever comes in to get UBC out of a jam. And she is going to face Kenna Thomas, the second baseman.
It's Taylor McRae in the pitching circle.
Oh, for UBC, that wasn't Sever that went out?
No, she went to first.
Oh, I see. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. Got to talk about the seniors. So, what's McRae's first name again, Thomas? I apologize. Don't know that. Darn it. I'll check that in a second.
But Shea was still worth talking about. She's had a phenomenal season, too.
Ground ball, dive to third. Will she get the back and tag it? No. No, she didn't, but third baseman Gabby Dorvell saves a run. That surely would have scored a run, but by diving and knocking it down, not able to get an out, but a great play by Gabby Dorvell. They'll get that an infield single, no doubt. Now it's bases loaded for McRae, facing the number 9 hitter, Abby Amand, who struck out looking her first pitch. Taylor McRae, of course. Shea Sever entered the game, as we need some defensive changes as well. So Sever's at first, and a ground ball through the hole. They're going to score one and hold up the runner. We might have a play at second base. Be careful with the runner on third. Okay. So, taking the lead on that single by Amand, grounding to right field, means that Thomas moves up to second. Katie Slater wisely held the third base as the throw was a little bit up the line, but Milescu made a terrific backhand to one-hop that, and she would have been out had their coach send the runner. So Haley Kampka scores. It gives Carroll the lead, 4-3 in the game.
Who's the batter?
And the batter now is the leadoff hitter, Amber Brewer. Two outs, bases loaded. Carroll here at a crucial part of the game. A base hit could really open up the lead for them. They have the lead by 1. They were down 3-0 coming into this inning. 2 out, bases loaded. What an opportunity for this fireball at the plate. She is 0 for 2. Got her on a changeup swing and miss there, making the count 2 balls, 1 strike. Amber Taylor grounded down the third baseline. That'll be foul. Tricky call for the umpire, and they only use 2 umpires in this game, so that normally we put on the third base umpire if we had one. Oh. And so it's up to the plate up. She has to really watch carefully because that ball took about 1 or 2 hops in fair territory on the inside of the line, but then it was pulled and it went to the left side of the base. So even if its last hop was in the infield, there's a pop-up that should end the inning. Norquist under it and secures it for the 3rd out. Taylor does a good job in relief. And UBC escapes further damage. However, the Fighting Saints played 4 runs in the 3rd inning. Those were Nimmo, Libert, Ayers, all coming in on the home run by Ayers, and then the single by Abby Amand brought home Haley Kampka to put the The Fighting Saints ahead 4-3. So Carroll scores 4 runs in the third inning on 5 hits. Left 3 runners on, which is a tough thing to do, but hey, they played it 4, so they can't be disappointed with that inning. As UBC comes to bat in the bottom of the third, they are the home team today. Let's look at the league standings because we are approaching the next weekend will be the final season of regular season play. So coming into today, these two teams are right in a very interesting middle part of the standings. The league Cascade Conference has 11 teams. 10 of them are American, 1 Canadian, that being the Thunderbirds here in Vancouver. Oregon Tech and Southern Oregon have run away with this season, and the College of Idaho joining them. Oregon Tech is 25-1. They lost their first game of the season and have won 25 in a row. And by the way, UBC travels there to play 4 games next weekend. Southern Oregon is 20-4, and the College of Idaho is 23-5. So those 3 are set. 6 teams make the playoffs, and those 3 are obviously locked into playoff spots. Terrific season so far for all of them. Shea Sever at the plate. UBC, with their 3 wins yesterday, move into the 4th spot in the league with a 17-9 conference record, 24-13 overall. So their 4 games against Oregon are going to put a lot of pressure on UBC if they're expecting wins next weekend. And Eastern Oregon is now in 5th place. They're 15-10. So next weekend gives them an opportunity to possibly move back into 4th place. And that being said, those 2 are more or less secured, unless some really radical things happen next week, because UBC is 17-9 in the conference, Eastern Oregon is 15-10, and the next team, and they are in 6th right now, is Northwest University with 11 wins and 15 losses. So for Eastern Oregon to surpass British Columbia would be pretty impossible and very unlikely that they would come up and take the 5th hole from either one of those 2 teams. Now the battle comes here, and it's another 2-team battle for that 6th playoff spot. I mentioned Eastern Oregon is 15-10. Northwest is 11-15, with Carroll playing right here in this game at a 10-16 mark. So just 1 win behind Eastern Oregon. So next weekend is really going to be critical for those 2 teams. Going into today, Northwest 10-16, and Carroll 10-16 in 7th place, just looking barely ahead of them to Northwest with 11-15 records. So good luck to the purple and white next weekend. The seeding in this league is really just gets them to the finals weekend of conference play, and I believe last year and the previous years, I haven't been able to travel there, but I believe it is a double knockout tournament. So yeah, if you're the 6th seed, you might have to play the 1st seed off the bat, but it takes 2 losses to knock you out, if that's the format. Ground on the 3rd base, and it just got through the wickets of Haley Kamka. I think I'm going to give Kamka an error on that. So Sever singles. No, Kamka is on by an E5. What she did was she had her hands down around her, not quite her, ankles. And you want to have the back of that glove on the clay once you square up and center your body on the ball. Okay. And she had her glove just below her knees and tried to go down to it. And I liken it to hockey, where the great saves you see goalies makes, they always have their gloves down and they come up and make the big save. It's easier biomechanically to come up to a ball with your glove near your feet versus going down to a ball if your glove is near your knees. And Kamka knows that. It's just something we fall into sometimes. Change up to Olivia Molescu. Makes the count 2 balls, 1 strike. Molescu, the left-handed catcher, senior on this team. Hits it hard to 3rd base. They'll get the lead runner. Will it be 2? Yes, it will. And what a terrific stretch at 1st base by Caitlin Ayers. Looked like Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Molescu hit the ball so hard to third baseman Haley Kamka that she not only had time to get the lead runner at second, but also create a 5-4-3 double play at first base. Imagine it being bad that you hit the ball so hard, but that's what Molescu did. That you hit a simple grounder, they only would have had the leadoff runner. Great double play and a great stretch again by the first baseman, Caitlin Ayers, for the Fighting Saints. Erases both runners. Big response from the crowd. Nice crowd today. Easily over 100 people. Quite close to 150. On a cold day, tough decision to come out because you're sitting. At least the players are moving. If you're sitting, you're cold right now. There's a grounder to short. Should end the inning. Catch and a throw. Whoa. Good sportsmanship by both players there. The first baseman, Caitlin Ayers, had to kind of come left and into the line. And Gabby Dorval, that's her line, the runner, and the runner has the right to run into that player. But Gorval stepped to avoid the collision and hit the base with her foot, but she was still called out. Like to see that good sportsmanship. And men's, the player's so upset he didn't get a single. Sometimes he'll kind of nudge him, hit him with their left shoulder. That's never a good thing. No runs, no hits, nobody left on, even though they did have a runner when Shea Sever hit the ball and the third baseman made an error. So that's a nice thing for a team that just rallies to score 4, to put up a 0 in that next half. It makes a statement. Yesterday when they put up 6 in the 4th inning, UBC came out and played its 6 runs, and it just kind of licked the red off their lollipop. They had just built that lead and then gave it up. Today they scored 3 in the top of the 3rd and put up a 0 in the bottom. So going into the top of the 4th inning, the Fighting Saints leadoff hitter is going to be Jessica Nimmo. And they're going to see if they can put some insurance runs on the board. I was talking about pitcher stats that I didn't get to, and I'm going to show them to you here, or at least tell them to you. A couple of pitchers have made the top lists in the league. Shea Sever is 4th in the league with strikeouts, which is amazing, and then extra amazing because UBC has played this year about, 14 and 25, so they played 39 games. Several teams, especially at the top of the circuit, I'm going to take a look at those standings again. They played many more games, that's my point. Let's see. Oregon Tech has played 43 games. Southern Oregon has played 40. College of Idaho, 45. You get my drift. So UBC has played significantly less games than them, and yet Shea Sever is number 4 in strikeouts. She's number 1 in the league, number 1 in complete games with 10. And Sever is number 27 in the league. Look at this stat. Batters struck out looking. What a stat to keep. That's interesting. And by the way, the sophomore on our team, Lindsay Bell, is 10th in both those 2 categories. So 10th in the league. So good for you, Lindsay, for building your impressive resume here this year at UBC. And we very much hope that you take over that number 1 spot next year. You're really on an uphill swing. We've seen her get better each game last year as a freshman, and then this year she just she plays in the summer. She gets individual instruction in the summer. She works out her own in the summer. And Lindsay Bell, you're going the right direction. Way to go. Slow roller. This is going to be a tough play. I don't think they'll get her. And she's safe. Falk charged it and scooped it, kind of on a do-or-die play. Got the throw there, and it was kind of much closer than I thought it would be because it was such a slow roller.
All right, Kayla, here we go.
So Clayton Ayers is at the plate. A couple of singles here with Justin and Alyssa Libbert. Nimmo on second, Libbert on first, nobody out. They're not going to bunt the 4-hitter, that's for sure. On the mound is Taylor McRae for UBC. Carroll scored 4 runs in the top of the third. Here they were already runners on first and second, nobody out, and the cleanup hitter, Caitlin Ayers, at the plate. Low fastball, pulled foul, makes the count 1-2. I mean, to be honest, when Canadians playing Americans in softball or baseball, it's sort of like the Americans playing the Canadians in hockey. We're always going to have the edge, and generally those teams south of the border have better coaches, better facilities, more players to pick from, that's for sure, and they're usually better than us. And I think it's very impressive that UBC, and UBC, when I say that word, I really mean Gord Collings, he has gone through so many battles getting this program to where it came. They used to have to practice at Softball City, a fantastic venue, but an hour away, so balancing academics and athletics, they also had to add 2 hours of the day getting there and getting back. But Gord, in a long couple of years' effort, has put this field intact on the edge of UBC's campus. He looks to third on the ground ball, and a super play by Gabby Dorval. With runners on second and third, it would have had to been a tag play, but on the ground ball to third, she wisely returned. So we got Nimmo on third, Libbard now on second. They both advance, and 1 out, and that brings to the plate Haley Curry. Curry lined out to the shortstop Volk last time. Squeeze play. We got to throw it third. No, we don't. They pulled that. That's called a safety squeeze. A safety squeeze, the runner doesn't commit to home plate. They'll kind of watch where the bunt goes and then break. If it's a suicide squeeze, you are running and you're going to home no matter what. So if the hitter does happen to miss, you're dead cold. She was halfway down the line, but was able to stop and get back because the third baseman, Gabby Dorval, was also charging. So there wasn't the chance for a throw. Volk catches it at third, checks the runner. High throw, but it's caught at first base for the out. And again, the 2 runners are frozen at second and third. Impressive defense here by the T-Birds. Severs at first had to reach to the top of her ladder to catch that. It's about 8 feet in the air, but she kept her toe on the bag. And Haley Kempka's at the plate. Kempka's. It's a line shot to right field. What a big hit with 2 outs. The throw is going to come home, but both runners are going to score. Kind of a soft line drive to right field with 2 outs. What a big hit for Haley Kempa, and extending the lead to 6-3. So scoring are Jessica Nimmo. They were frozen at second and third. UBC looked like they may have got out of this big jam with a pair of groundouts after those runners were on second and third, but Kemka comes through with a line drive, scoring 2. Fly ball to left field, taken by Arsh Bajwa to end the inning, but not before Carroll takes a bigger lead, 2 insurance runs to make it 6-3. They had 2 runs scored on 3 hits. Nobody left on. So they scored 4 last inning into this inning, doubling the lead. That makes it 6-3. But UBC has the bottom of the 4th, and therefore the bottom of 5, bottom of 6, bottom of 7, 4 at-bats remaining in the game, more than half. So there's time, but they better be careful because Carroll is, when you get a lead against UBC, that's they're going to cherish that. They're going to try to play some good defense to protect it. The left-hander remains on the mound. That's number 13, Abby Amend. Shelby Kemple, the senior. Oh no, she got replaced last inning out of the game when she left the pitching mound. So now batting in that spot is Caitlin Kim. So Caitlin Kim has replaced Shelby Kemple in the lineup.
She has? Okay.
And she will lead off here, the left-hander. Kemple's a great hitter, but there's no problem going to Caitlin Kim because she is also a great young hitter. Kemple was 0 for 1, but she had a shot. And the second baseman made a fantastic play. Pop up a third, but it's off the fence. Protecting all those cars parked on Westbrook Mall Street. It's a busy street for a small community. but they all see that there's games going on, and they get a lot of fans. Got nearly a couple of hundred at this game up in the balconies of the 6 apartment buildings. I see some people up there with hoodies and coats on. They get free admission and a great view. 6-floor buildings, and there's 6 of them on all the way down from the home plate down to the right field foul pole and a bit past that. Cool, charming atmosphere, Collings Field at Nobel Park. Ooh, Kim takes a changeup that I thought dropped enough that it was out of the strike zone. It must have crossed right at the knees. The umpire called it a strike, making the count 1-2. Foul ball. Kim goes after it. With 2 strikes, you got to go after anything close. We talked about a couple of Ontario girls before, senior Shelby Kempel and senior Mia Volk. Caitlin Kim also hails from Mississauga, Ontario. Went to St. Marcellinus Secondary School. Studies kinesiology here at UBC. What's her favorite quote? Whatever you do, do it well. That was a quote by Walt Disney, and Caitlin Kim, double K, goes by that. She goes by a 2-2 count right now here in the leadoff spot in the 4th. That ball's hit hard into the left field gap. That's going to be hard for anyone to catch, but running hard over there on a great route to the ball was Haley Curry. Super play. She ran about 80 feet to catch that ball. It almost reached the warning track. Great run, great catch. And a great swing with 2 strikes by Caitlin Kim. Bringing to the plate, Arsh Bajwa. Arch singled hard with a line shot to center field in her first time up. One ball, 1 strike on Arsh Bajwa. Open stance, but then she takes her left foot and plants it towards the pitcher. Hits down on that ball. It's got room, and they do catch that over towards the first base fence. Caitlin Ayers gets over there. It's a home run. Then she comes out to help protect the lead that she helped her team get into. So Arjwa with the pop up to first. 2 up, 2 down so far, bringing to the plate Bradley Say. Caitlin, the center fielder, dropped a sack bunt her first time up. Beautiful sack bunt, and now she tried to bunt again, but it's a running bunt. This is a bunt where she really wants to get out of the box, coming from the left-hander hitting side. See if she can pool cue that thing into a safe area. Does the slap hitter technique, but takes it. 1-1 count. Strike called on the McLennan Community College grad. This is her 3rd academic year. I think she's only a sophomore eligibility-wise. She's pursuing a degree in the arts. She does have one. This is going to be a tough play because it took about 5 hops, and the umpire calls her safe. Yeah, when those lefty slappers get, more than 3 hops, that's really tough for anyone because they're charging and they got to pick it up. So a beautiful infield single. What a talent by Bradley Say. Bringing us to the top of the order. Senior Mia Volk takes the first pitch strike. Volk isn't afraid to go deep in the count. She looks for fastballs. That was a changeup. Good changeup for her first pitch. Now she doesn't know what the pitcher's going to give her. The pitcher's really got the advantage. Comes back with a fastball. Volk hits a fly ball to right center field. It's going to be caught, and the inning is over. Ball got out there further than I thought, but it was snagged by the right fielder. That's Amber Brewer, and that will end the inning. UBC does not score. They had a hit and therefore 1 runner left on base. So we are clean in the books now with 4 innings behind us. Returning to the mound for UBC is Taylor McRae. And we will go to the number 2 hitter, Jessica Nimmo, to lead off the 5th inning. Nimmo is 1 for 2 today. She singled and scored. Last inning, as a matter of fact, that was the 5th run for the Fighting Saints, and she hit into a fielder's choice her first time up on a ground ball to shortstop.
That's it for the season.
Hats off to these women for giving the energy and effort they are today. They played not one, not two, but a triple header yesterday. Normally it's 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, but both teams, and of course head coach Jen McKellar has the call on that, looked at the radar and the forecast and proposed playing 3 games yesterday because the weather did not look good for today. Now this is very playable out here. It's Canadian-wise. Here's a 1-hopper to third base. Torval with the pick and a beautiful throw to first. Oh, I think I was wrong there on that leadoff hitter. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was Katie Slater that led off. Sorry about that with the ground ball to Gabby Dorvell. Pop up, who's calling it? Alescu first. Now they're going to let it bounce foul. Very tough play for a catcher to go running down the line like that. She doesn't get time to turn a, like you would want to turn ideally if you're a catcher 180 degrees and face the backstop, because due to the physics and the science, the ball that goes up always comes down towards the field. But she was running to the spot and she ran only sort of in a 90-degree pattern. So it made the catch very difficult. Slicer to left. Room service fly ball to Arsha. Bajwa out in left field. Emmett has to be happy. That was a quality at bat, but unfortunately it was right at the left fielder. We go with another pop-up. Olivia Oleski turned right around that time, and that's what you want to do, catchers. Square around, find the ball, get rid of your mask if you have time, and always stand about 2 steps behind where you think it's going to land, because it's coming down on an angle.
Brewer?
At the top of the order, Amber Brewer is up, yes.
Oh. Amber Brewer.
So Kenneth Thomas was the one that singled. Center fielder for UBC calls it. A quick inning, only about 6 pitches for Taylor McCray. That's always nice. Although softball pitchers' arms don't get sore and aren't held back with restrictions like hardball baseball pitchers, because our arm is not built to throw with a 90-degree shoulder to elbow and 90-degree elbow to hand angle. We are biomechanically produced to throw the windmill pitch. But we'll take a 6 or 7 pitch inning, that's for sure. Brewer flies out to center field to end the inning. So, talking to myself here, Jessica Nimmo will lead off that inning. Carroll College does not score in the inning. Had 1 hit, 1 left on base.
Oh wait, it's the bottom of the 6th, right?
I believe it's the bottom of the 5th. That's really important. We can find that out. Hey, sir, are we a bottom of 5 or bottom of 6? Do you know? Okay, the scoreboard says
bottom of 5. I didn't realize my scoreboard was wrong the whole time.
Okay, all right, thank you. UBC has 9 outs to go, 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and 3 in the 7th offensively. And Hannah Hansen, the senior, hard swing of the ball. I think it's going to land outside of the park near the Arboretum and down the right field line. Boy, that must be pretty in the spring and summer to see all the colors of those plants. All these different bushes and trees, they all have signs on them what kind they are. Kind of an educational walkthrough. Both teams have had exactly the same amount of at-bats, but Carroll College has made better use of it because they have 6 while UBC is frozen at 4. UBC scored 4 in the 3 in the first and 1 in the second. Excuse me, three runs. Yeah, because it's 6-3. They scored all 3 in the first, whereas Carroll College scored 4 in the third and 2 in the fourth.
So it is
here
the
we
bottom
are,
of the fifth.
bottom of 5th right now. So therefore, we're in the 3rd round through. Each team has their 2-hitter leading off in the 5th. So 3 times 9 is 27 and 1 more. So both teams have had 28 batters come to the plate so far this game. And therefore, Hansen and Nimmo will be the leadoff hitters here in the 5th inning. Thunderbirds at the plate. Oh, outside fastball right on the corner. Now Hansen won't be able to be quite as picky. 3-2 count. Abby Amen still the pitcher on the mound for Carroll. Ooh, she got a piece of that one. It's going to the left field fence on the warning track. That ball is caught at the fence. Really good route back there. I loved how the left fielder, Haley Curry, she spotted the ball, decided in her mind where it's going to land, turned around, took her eyes off the ball, and that's PhD outfielding right there. Ran to the spot she thought it was going to land, relocated the ball, took one more step back to the fence, and it landed in her glove. Excellent technique right there by the left fielder. Getting Hannah Hansen, the senior, to earn a F7 in the book. Nearly out of here. The wind yesterday was blowing out. That would have taken that ball out, no doubt. Norquist drives onto right field, but charging and making a nice play is right fielder Amber Braver. So the line drive is caught. And Carroll College trying to do what UBC just did, get a bunch of hitters out in a hurry. Already 2 outs, only about 7 pitches thrown so far. Sever hits a fly ball, putting the left fielder back into position. Shortstop is going to go over and grab it. Long way to go, but she had her eye on it all the way. And what a super defensive performance that is. That was Katie Slater grabbing that ball. F7, L9, F6. If you're scoring, that means no runs, no hits, and nobody left on base for UBC in the 5th.
Can I get my letter?
I'm so sorry.
And now we go to the 6th. Game is narrowing down, and so is the careers. So are the careers of 4 seniors on the UBC squad who will be. They were honored a couple of weeks ago, and I think there's something in store for today after the game. So they have 2. I'm getting chills as I say this. They're getting chills, no doubt. This will be the next 2 innings, 3 innings defensively, and 2 innings offensively. 4 seniors: Mia Volk, Hannah Hansen, Olivia Milescu, and Shelby Kemple. They have 5 more road games. They'll take care of that next weekend in Southern Idaho. And then the conference tournament, which UBC has more or less secured themselves in. They're currently in 4th place in the league. The top 6 go to that tournament. And all of those games will be played down there. Therefore, this will be the final team, the final game for those 4 when they walk off of Collings Field at Noble Park. It'll hit them hard. Maybe not at the moment they do it, but they'll come to the realization that they won't be walking out onto the field, closing the door, but of course opening the door to their splendid futures, which all 4 are going to be shining brightly in whatever they're pursuing. Quality people. And besides that, they're pretty darn good softball players. Pop up to second base. Norquist calls it. Puts it in her pocket. That was Jessica Nimmo that popped out to second. Alyssa Liberter's up at the plate. She's up in the top 15 in the league in hitting. So far today, she has reached all 3 times. Fielder's choice in the first. She drew a walk and scored in the 3rd, and singled and scored in the 4th inning as well. Carroll College doubling the Thunderbirds so far in this 6-3 game. This is the 4th game of the series. They played 3 yesterday, and the 4th one this morning. Line shot out the middle. Good job by UBC center fielder Caitlin Bradley see. She ran hard over there and make sure she squared herself up. And no bad hop was going to make that ball get to the fence. Hard hit single to
Another
center
battery
field.
issue. I will be right back.
Sorry, Thomas?
I got another battery out. I
Oh,
gotta
okay.
go replace.
Thomas the Octopus is going to use one of his 8 limbs.
I got a battery warning. I just didn't know what camera it was. Now I know because it's out.
So we'll stay in this view for a while. Whoa, I wouldn't want to be on the end of that view with that line drive coming at me. Caitlin Ayers just rips the ball all over the park. Today she singled in the first with a line drive off the wall in right field center, and then she bested that with another 6 feet as she blasted a home run to just over the same spot, a 3-run homer that tied the game. Swing and a miss, hitting backstop. Puts her in an 0-2 count. So she's 2 for 3 today. Ayers on the season coming in today was batting at even 400. 14th place in the league of 11 teams. How about that? Sins with an open stance, crouched, kind of unusual, but then, as I mentioned earlier, she kind of comes up with her load, and here she comes. Swing and a pop. This is going to be difficult. Volk comes in. Volk lays out. And it's a good thing she did, because had she tried to field that on one hop, I don't think she would have got the runner. Volk dove almost too far and away because she caught it in the heel of her glove, and it looked like it potentially might pop out, but she was able to trap it and get a big hitter out. Alyssa Libbert was wise. She thought that Volk might catch it, so she was able to get back to first to prevent a double play to end the inning. Volk's not afraid to get dirty. I would not want to be doing her laundry. She played boys baseball, not any softball, until she was 16 years old. Then she made the move and didn't leave baseball. She still plays for Team Canada's national baseball team, and also she's on the whiteboard of the Team Canada softball team. Second woman ever to do that in Canada. Dr. Rebecca, what was her last name? Rebecca, I'll think of it in a minute, who played with me for a little time on the Canadian national women's baseball team. So playing with boys, she's not afraid to dive. She's something that she grew up with. At the plate now, number 28, Haley Curry. We're in the top of the 6th inning. The visiting team is at the plate. Swing and a miss. It's dropped by the catcher. Molescu, the catcher, picks it up. The senior, that is, Molescu, and tags her for the final out of the inning. It's a big out. So are we 100% sure this is bottom of 6?
I'm just going to check with the
Okay, because
scorekeeper.
I wouldn't want to be saying 6 if it's the 7th, because it's a whole different perspective.
Bottom of 6.
Bottom of 6. Thank you,
So
Thomas
between
the
my
Octopus.
scoreboard, the scoreboard in the outfield, and the online scoreboard, at one point we all had 3 different numbers.
Yeah, we've got a crew from the university here. They do all the statistics and all that, sitting at the table about on the other side of the backstop with us. And then we have the two of us, Thomas the Octopus, and me, Tommy V, and I try and keep score and talk about it. Thomas plugs in everything to give you that 6-camera angle presentation. And then you got the scoreboard. And at one point, all 3 of us had a different number. So what does that say? But we have concurred. We're in the bottom of 6. UBC only has 2 tries now. Bottom of 6 and bottom of 7 to try and tie the score or take the lead and win it. They've got a rally in them. The leadoff hitter for UBC this thing is going to be the senior, Olivia Molescu. Molescu is from BC. She's hometown is Delta, BC, not too far from Vancouver. Went to Delta Secondary School, studies kin here at UBC. Her favorite quote, winners never quit and quitters never win. That's from Vince Lombardi. Good leader on the team. Got a good personality. She's fun to be around. a smile that melts you. And she has got a nasty swing. She's really kind of found herself, in my opinion, over the past 2 or 3 weeks. Left-hander steps into the box to face the starting pitcher who's still in the game. That's Abby Emmon on the mound. Takes low for ball 1. Her job here, especially as a left-handed hitter who's quick out of the box, is to get on first base and bring the tying run to the plate. Or excuse me, it's 6-3, so 2 people have to get on. Takes low again. 2-0. Molesky's a team player. She'll take this 2-0 juicy fastball just to see if the pitcher might give her a free walk. Normally, she should jump all over a 2-0 fastball. She did. Did she pull through the hole? The ball's all caught by the first baseman, and she stayed on the ground and laid out to touch the base on the dive. What a nice play by Caitlin Ayers at first base. Yeah, you can't blame Molesky for swinging at her pitch, and she did hit it as hard as she can. But first baseman kind of laid out like Volk did last inning to end it as she snagged it and then just turned her body in like a fish on out of the water and flopped herself at first base. And just before Molesky got there, she tagged the base with an outstretched arm on the ground. Good play. This is Gabby Dorval. Inside, called the strike. Nobody out, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. UBC Thunderbirds are the home team trying to find a way to get a couple runners on. They got to score 3 to tie it, 4 to take the lead. Dorval, as she often does, lines down the third base line. Dorval from Surrey went to Yale Secondary School studying the arts here. Her favorite quote, "Just keep swimming," from the movie Dory. Hard line shot right at the left fielder who positioned herself excellently. It puzzles me how the left fielders on these teams will put the left fielder over towards the line but leave the center fielder on the right field side of second base. I never quite get that. Nevertheless, well hit but well caught. The liner to left field. Super job again by Haley Curry over there, and up comes Caitlin Kim, dangerous hitter. She flew to 7 as well, the left fielder, in her only at bat when she pinch hit for Shelby Kemple. And she takes a strike.
Right back.
Thomas off to turn a knob or put a screwdriver in something, who knows? He's a machine himself. Ooh, just missed on the, looked like it hit the inside corner at the knees, but the umpire called it a ball. Caitlin Kim will gladly receive that judgment, making the count 1-1. IBMN delivers, and over the third baseman's heads, but in between her and the left fielder, the ball drops for a hop, and Caitlin Kim gets herself on first base. Harsh Bajwa has lined to center field for a single and popped out to first base today. Tall, strong, takes herself at the plate and just has that body language that no doubt she's going to put the ball in play somewhere. Where's the Canadian number? Number 8. I say Canadian because it's a snowman, and we have lots of those. Not so much in Vancouver this time of year, but the rest of the country does. Bajwa rips one to right. This is going to put a couple of runners on. Kim on with 2 out is going to third to throw as her out. Generally, you don't want the first or third out at third base, but Kim decided to go for it. It was in her mind all the way, but the ball was hit so hard that right fielder Amber Brewer was able to come in charging through a super one-hop throw to the third baseman, Haley Kemka, and she tagged out Kim easily. Yeah, that would have given us UBC 2 runners on with someone coming to the plate. So you got to be sure on those. That's the thing. And Kim is a young player, and she'll learn from that. Ideally, and she knows it, and she feels worse than anybody for trying it. Down 3 runs with 2 outs, you want to play it safe and bring the batter to the plate. Scoring, if she was on second base and tried to score, completely different. You want to take chances if you're on second and 2 out and make that great play. But getting to third base, you're still in scoring position on second base, so that's the learning lesson there. And I bet you Caitlin Kim won't make that play again. So a hard hit ball single, however, excellent play from the right fielder to third base to end the inning. So it's a single for Bourgeois. So BC scores no runs on 2 hits and leaves 1 runner on as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Well, I get emotional. This is the last inning that 3 of the seniors of the 4 being honored today will take the field defensively. So once shortstop Mia Volk and right fielder Hannah Hansen and catcher Olivia Lescu go to the bench, that will be the last time they ever cross that line. Of course, if they tie the score, I guess they could go into extra innings, so we'll think that way. Could be a little impartial. Partial, I should say. Leading off for the Fighting Saints is third baseman Haley Kamka. Snagged that last throw and a tag Caitlin Kim as she dove into third base. She's been hitting line drives all day. This time it's a fly ball to right. Is it going to drop? No. Ball was caught by our... where I'm sitting, I can't see because the dugout is on my way, so I'm going to say it was caught by our right fielder. But the bottom line is it was caught in right field by either our second baseman or right fielder. Just you caught that ball? Was it, sir? Was that the second base? Sir? Hey, sir? Oh, well, doesn't matter. It was caught in right field, nevertheless, by our second baseman or the center fielder. Shot snagged by shortstop Mia Volk. Draws a wow from the crowd. Katie Slater is retired. She came to the dugout and all the players saying that was such a good hit. But sometimes you get the bad luck of someone making a terrific play, and sometimes you check swing it and the ball finds green grass between 4 players, you know. Softball and baseball will even themselves out like that. Super play by shortstop and Team Canada star Mia Volk. Up to the plate now is number 4. This is Kenna Thomas. Oh, excuse me, we go to the top of the order. Sorry about that.
This is number 29.
This is Brewer. Or was it? Oh, that wasn't Brewer. Oh, the sweatshirt got me off. So that was pinch hitter 29. Whose name is? Ellie. Ellie Korber. Sorry about that. So 5-3 to her. A couple of exciting plays, and they go 1-2-3. The seniors are now officially half off this field for good. I hope they come back a lot in their careers and their life. Mia Volk had a hand in this field. Gord Collings brought her to a meeting with the Westbrook community. This field had just become a raggedy, dormant piece of land that was used for basically nothing. It was a dull diamond at one point, and they approached him, and Gord brought Mia to the meeting with the Westbrook community and proposed that if UBC put some money into it and the community put some money into it, it could be a much more charming area. And Mia's role was to speak about the difference it would make in the program here for UBC. At that point, they were driving an hour to Surrey to practice and an hour on the way back every single day. So girls facing the challenge of keeping academics and athletics on par were also faced with wasting 2 hours basically getting there. This is 5 minutes from most of their homes. And she talked about how nice it would be to be able to have roommates and friends and family to come watch us play, because it's really tough for them to, especially kids in school, to take an hour bus or whatever to Surrey to watch it. I know for a fact that the women's softball team here goes to all of the other sports. You always see them at the men's volleyball, the men's hockey, the women's and men's basketball, volleyball, hockey, football, and those teams would like to reciprocate. Now they can. So the two communities joined up. The university put almost $500,000 into this, and Westbrook put in their share. The parents of the players put in their share, and here we are. What a magnificent result! And if I was Mia Volk, I'd be more proud about that accomplishment as far as her legacy left behind than her excellent career she's had here. She's been a starter every single game since day one, playing center fielder and first base every game. Pop-up. And Bradley Tsay is out on a pop-up to third base. Taking us to the top of the order. If this game doesn't continue, we're in the bottom of 7. UBC down by 3 with 1 out. If it doesn't continue, then this will be Volk's last at bat. On deck is Hansen, and she'll certainly get in that bat, and it'll be her final if UBC fails to tie things up. Volk takes a strike on the outside corner. Ground ball through and a single to left field, keeping UBC alive. And bringing it to the plate, Hannah Hansen. What an academic this girl is. She really takes things seriously. She lives with 3 other girls on the team, and they often tell stories about how they'll start a little party or a little social thing, and Hannah's in the room and she closes her door and finishes what she's doing. Favorite quote: "Take your victories, whatever they may be. Cherish them, use them, but don't settle for them." That was spoken by Mia Hamm, the great soccer player of the U.S. Hannah Hansen rips one down the right field line, but that's going to go foul. Handel's in her 4th year. This makes her ineligible for more because the team plays in the NAIA, which only allows 4 years of play, whereas Canadian universities who play in their conference, called U Sports, get 5 years. Delta secondary high school graduate, studying kinesiology. I can't speak for her, but something tells me she's going to be the postgraduate type and going to put a few more letters behind her names before she enters the workforce. She has been out on a grounder to short, then she singled on a ground ball up the middle, singled to ground ball to left, and popped. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong hitter. Hannah Hansen, has walked and scored, scoring the first run of the game on the top of the first, struck out and flew out to 7. Hoping to finish her career here with a hit in her last at-bat and to extend the rally. They need 2 runners on to put the tying run at the plate. Hansen takes a pitch it was a changeup, and it kind of had also a kind of a curveball or slider dip, and it went from outside to inside while it was dropping significantly. What a tough pitch to hit. Delivered by the pitcher, Abby Amend. Count is 2-2 to Hansen. Fastball out to outside. Volk on the steal, and the ball is thrown by her, and it rolls into center field. So Volk steals. Dangerous again when you're down by 3, so you've got to be 100%. And that one, I would say, is worth it because what she did is take away the double play option for Carroll College. So you won't see her go to 3rd because UBC has to score 2 runs. So Volk's run, in essence, doesn't matter. It's all about getting to the plate. Kiana Norquist, assuming that Hannah Hansen can get on. Oh, she took a high pitch and she kind of tried to duck out of it and bring her strike zone down, but the umpire didn't buy it. It was right on the outside corner, so strike 3, and UBC is down to their final out. Coach yelling out to the defense, "Don't worry about the runner on second," and that's exactly right. Kiona Norquist has to get on and bring Shea Siebert to the plate to keep the Thunderbirds alive. At the end of this broadcast, that'll probably be my last broadcast, I want to thank Gord Collings And whether I've got one out or whether I had an hour, I can't say enough about him. He is, firstly, a fantastic coach. He cares about the players like a father. He is the Energizer buddy. He comes and works on the diamond. He goes to bat for these girls administratively, getting money for the field, getting money for the program, arranging everything. He's like a coach GM, he was. He just retired last year. This field is duly named after him. And Gord, I could go on, but I just want to thank you on behalf of the players, certainly the parents. I get emotional when I talk about you because Gord, I truly love you as a man. It's been a pleasure becoming your friend, and we'll stay friends. Here's a looper into the right center field, and it is fair ball, and it's not caught. 3 people surrounded it. It kind of, the dugout blocked my view, so I couldn't see the result till Mia Volk scored, and that run counts. So keeping UBC alive is our leading hitter, doing what leading hitters need to do. Kiana Norquist batting .431 coming into this game, and Severs at the plate. Here's a high pop-up. This could end the ball game, and securing a 2-run lead is the right fielder. The game is over. Sever flies out to the right fielder. Amber Brewer and the UBC Thunderbirds try to rally, but don't quite succeed. So Volk singled. I'm just catching up on my scorebook. Hanson singled to right center. Or sorry, Hanson was an out. She was a strikeout. Hanson struck out. Norquist singled to right field on the fly ball that fell in between the outfielders. And Shea Sever hit a fly ball, but that ball was caught. So UBC scores 1 run, that being Volk, after her single. So 1 run on 2 hits and 1 left on base. Final score, and what a nice way to finish and head home by Carroll, who is fighting for a playoff spot. And that win's going to be key in next weekend's showdown in the last weekend of season play. They are battling for the 5th or 6th spot. UBC looks quite secure for the 4th place slot, but remember, they play the top team in the league 4 times next weekend. So even going 2-2 would be quite an accomplishment. And in the meantime, Eastern Oregon is 1 game behind them in the win column. So that's going to be up in the air, but the bottom line is they're high enough in the 5th and 6th beyond the others that they'll both wind up in the conference tournament. So the last battle of the conference is going to go between Carroll, who came into today 10-16, Northwest, who was 11-15. So one of those 2 is going to grab that last playoff spot, and this win gives Carroll their 11th win. So they are tied with Northwest presently in the win column, and they've got 16 losses versus Northwest's 15. So that'll be exciting, and good luck to them. It's been nice to see them, and they're good-spirited, excellent parents came up to watch them, and we wish them the best into bringing the Saints into ground. I'm not sure, Thomas, if there's any type of senior continued celebration today, or if that was it 2 weeks ago. Are you aware?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, they had a start and a finish to it last 2 weeks ago, so I don't know that anything is owed, but I'd heard that they were going to do something today, but I think they'd be doing that right now. Okay, why don't we? If the Canadians and parents and players want to stay on just in case, sorry we don't know, but we just don't know. So UBC brings their record today.
So let's play this slideshow here.
Oh,
so we can
well,
see
okay.
our-
Wow, thank you for doing this. You're like the NCAA Final Four when they play that song, you know, and they've captured, I don't know how they do it and put it all together, the NCAA basketball tournament. And they traditionally play this song every day. Now this is a very nice thing to see. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
Well, let's just keep it rolling.
Okay. So is there audio from those highlights, or can I keep talking, or what? Are you okay? All right, thank you. Oh, okay. So UBC, their conference record on that loss goes to 17-10, and then, as I mentioned, Carroll's goes to 11-16. So 17-10. That still gives BC a half-game lead on Eastern Oregon. UBC is in fourth. They will not go into third, second, or first because those three teams, Oregon Tech, Southern Oregon, and College of Idaho, are too far ahead of them. So BC is secure. It'll help them to get a winner 3 next weekend in the fourth place spot. And as I mentioned, Carroll's going to be battling Northwest and Eastern Oregon for those final 2 spots.
We're doing family pictures on the field.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, well then we'll end this. The UBC team is going to do some family photos on the field since this is the last game, especially for those 4 seniors. So we wish both teams success in the playoffs and next week in the final weekend of the season. Thomas, this might be my last go with this, so the last thing I'm going to say is about you and, how do you say it, Boutique Fleur? Bellefleur Fleur Boutique. My French is not my best, but they sponsor this, and Thomas puts everything together. And as a parent especially, all the parents appreciate it, even the ones living here, because just because you live here doesn't mean you can get to the game. And I can't tell you, especially when you compare your coverage to the other coverage in this league, and I also have a son who played abroad, and we saw a lot of weak to very good coverages there. You are the best. You are number one, and you do it from your heart. You don't get paid. You're here a couple hours before the game. You put all this stuff up on the cameras and things I'm looking at. I can't imagine how you keep it all in order, but a thank you doesn't seem to be enough, but that's all I can give you. So on behalf of everyone, thank you for you guys for airing these games. And it just, people, if you don't have a kid 4,000 kilometers away, you'll never understand what it means to be able to at least watch your kid on it. So I say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to you for putting
really
this all together.
I love streaming the games so that the parents and grandparents and friends and fans at home can watch their favorite softball team, UBC Thunderbirds.
Well, if we make it out here, and you never know, we've got 3 kids, and all 3 of them seem to be kind of pointed to British Columbia. So if they do, I can assure you, Paul and I, this year, or maybe in a few years, we're not going to stay 4,000 kilometers away from them. So we're going to close this off. We thank all of you for tuning in today. There's some team photos going on, so Thomas is making his way out there. I'm going to make my way out there. Thanks for tuning in today. Safe travel home to all of the parents and family and friends of the Carroll College. Thanks for coming. Hope to see you in the playoffs, and thanks again for tuning in to the Thomas the Octopus version of UBC softball here at Collings Field. Yeah, those are the 2 we got to finish it with, Gord Collings and Thomas Bell. Boy, are they at the top of the list as far as giving thanks. Best wishes to Jen McKellar as she pursues hopefully a long and successful career here at UBC. Thunderbirds signing off, and we'll see you again, who knows when. Maybe Thomas Bell will take a playoff trip, and we'll do some more of these games this year. My name is Tom Beebe. We'll see you soon. You going out for pictures, Thomas?
I'm actually going to play some highlights.
To third base, and it's off the glove, so everyone's going to be safe. That'll probably go into the scorebook as an error, but it was there's a shallow fly ball. I think it's going to drop. No, the second baseman caught it. Volk tagged at third. We're going to have a play at the plate. She got under between the legs, but she was by the left, the shortstop, and it got by her. We're going to score at least 1 here. Boy, what an effort made by Katie Slater, but it's a fly ball down the left field line. Left fielder was camped out right over there. Easy catch. Or did she drop it? And if she did, is it fair or foul? She dropped the ball. Ground ball up the middle. This is going to be a very tough play. I don't think she got it in time. No, they called her out. There's a controversial one. Ground ball up the middle, and Kim goes a great grab and a great throw. Change up, lined right into Shelby Kempel's glove. How about that? There's a hard shot up the middle. Oh, what a play just to even get to that ball. Boy, she's Harsh Bajwa to second base. Oh, she puts a nice backspin on that. Excellent sack bunt. And does the job. You're going to have a 4-camera affair here. set up by Thomas the Octopus.
It's actually a 6 camera.
6 cameras today. Well, it's Seniors Day. I guess he went all out. How about that? And shortstop Mia Vol catches the line drive of Haley Curry for the second out of the inning. Good to see Kempo come back with it. Ground ball, dive to third. Will she get the back and tag it? No. No, she didn't, but third baseman got him as we need some defensive changes as well. So Severs at first and a ground ball through the hole. They're going to score one and hold up the runner. We might have a play at second base. Moving. If you're sitting, you're cold right now. There's a grounder to short. Should end the inning. Catch and a throw. Whoa. Good sportsmanship by both players. Long couple of years' effort has put this field intact on the edge of UBC's campus. He looks to third on the ground ball and a super play by Gabby Dorval. With runners, baseman Gabby Dorval was also charging, so there wasn't the chance for a throw. Vol catches it at third, checks the runner. High throw, but it's caught at first base for the out. And again, it's a line shot to right field. What a big hit with 2 outs. The throw is going to come home, but both runners are going to score. Kind of a soft line drive to on the fourth. That ball's hit hard into the left field gap. That's going to be hard for anyone to catch, but running hard over there on a great route to the ball was hit. Open stance, but then she takes her left foot and plants it towards the pitcher. Hits down on that ball. It's got room, and they do catch that over towards. Pursuing a degree in the arts. She does hit one. This is going to be a tough play because it took about 5 hops, and the umpire calls her safe. Lefty slappers get, good for today. Now, this is very playable out here. It's Canadian-wise. Here's a 1 hopper to third base. Dorval with the pick and a beautiful throw to first. People. And besides that, they're pretty darn good softball players. Pop up to second base. Norquist calls it. No fastball. She did she pull through the hole. The ball's all caught by the first baseman, and she stayed on the ground and laid out to touch the base. Count is 2-2 to Hansen. Fastball out, 2 outside. Volk on the steal, and the ball is thrown by her, and it rolls into center field.
Well, the name of the business is La Belle Fleur Floral Boutique. We specialize in everything to do with flowers.
I really wanted something different. This is a really nice neighborhood in Surrey, and I wanted to have it accessible for wheelchairs and for baby carriages. I'm a visual artist by trade, history, however you want to call it. So anything to do with design and color and texture, anything like that. Floral design is just another extension of it. It could be painting, sketching, but floral design is just another art. Customer relations are everything. Customer contact. Flowers really have so much emotion drawn just naturally by them, whether it's joy or sadness. We're there for our customers no matter what occasion it may be. We have handmade jewelry, handmade cards, photographers who come in with their work as well. So we like to support the local artisan community within our shop. So we have trained designers. All of our designers are trained one-on-one, and they've come a long way. Education is a key component for us. We like to share what we know for the next generation of florists because we want to make sure that this keeps on going.